Hello and welcome to Tech Latest, a new podcast by Nikkei Asia, where we bring you the freshest updates from the technology sector in Asia. Every episode, one of our reporters from the region will be filling us in on the tech news on their radar, from semiconductors in China to space travel in Japan to startups in Indonesia. From Nikkei Asia's Tokyo headquarters, I'm Alice French. In this episode, my colleague Jada Nagumo chats to Akito Tanaka, our chief business news correspondent based in Singapore, about what the rise of AI trailblazer ChatGPT means for Asia's semiconductor industry.
Hi, Akito. Thanks very much for coming on today.
Thank you, Jada, for having me.
So, as you wrote in this week's Tech Asia newsletter, it looks like the ChatGPT hype is not going away anytime soon. What's been your personal experience using the chatbot?
So I've been using, or I should say testing ChatGPT for the past few months, and I have to say there is still big room for improvement. However, what's really important here is that this new technology, which is getting better as literally as we speak, is attracting a lot of users. So it's estimated that ChatGPT reached 100 million monthly active users in January. And that's just 2 months after its launch. My daughter, who is in her early teens, told me to use ChatGPT instead of Google when I was searching for where to go for our summer vacation. And what I wanted to say here is that we never saw any other cutting-edge technology spreading so fast. And yes, there are controversies in how to use it and if the thing is evolving too fast. But the reality is all the people around the world are trying out this new tech. And the nature of AI is that if it's been used more and more, it'll just keep on getting better. So there is a huge potential for this tech.
It is really attracting a lot of people. And at this stage, it's easy to see the growth of AI-powered chatbots as limitless. It's not difficult to imagine them overtaking search engines like Google in the future, too. You've been a tech reporter for over a decade, Akito. How likely do you think it is that AI will replace Google, and by when? And I mean, if that happens, what would such a shift mean for the tech users and society as a whole?
Now, this is a pretty tricky question, but I have another experience that I would like to share, and that is back in 2008, so it's like 15 years ago, I interviewed the executive who was then the head of Google's search business. This was in Mountain View, where the Google headquarters is based. And I asked this executive, what do you think is the ultimate form or goal of the search technology? And her response was a search technology would evolve to be just like your sort of long-time best friend, but with every information available in the world and at the same time knows everything about you. So it would precisely answer all your questions, understanding what you are looking for. Now, although we are at the very early stage, I feel that the interface of ChatGPT has the potential to become this ultimate search tech that the Google executive was talking about 15 years ago. When you use it, it kind of feels a bit human-like, and I've heard people refer to ChatGPT as him and not it. Now, will this replace conventional search? I don't know yet. Is it Microsoft, which is backing the technology, that will be controlling the industry? Again, I don't know that as well, because Google is, of course, also working on its generative AI. But again, there is a good potential.
That being said, there are still a lot of uncertainties surrounding the future of AI. One thing is for sure, though, that the current AI chatbot race is creating a strong appetite for semiconductors. Which manufacturers are benefiting so far?
Yes, so at this point, the companies that are trying to make ChatGPT and similar technology into consumer services have not made much money yet because people are still trying out these services pretty much for free. Now, this will change over time, but at this point, the company that is benefiting the most is in the semiconductor industry. And that would be NVIDIA, which has strength in chip used for AI. Companies like Taiwan's TSMC, which is manufacturing chips that are designed by companies like NVIDIA. and chip tool makers, which is used for manufacturing these chips. And these are companies like Applied Materials in Silicon Valley. And our staff writer, Ethan, who is based in the Valley, has done a very good report about this. So it'll be great if all the audience take a look at it.
Yes, it was a really interesting story. And as Ethan writes, a lot of the AI-related chip demand is coming from China, but Chinese companies are still having to grapple with the US tech crackdown, I imagine, right?
Yes. So the United States has announced a new export restriction of high-end graphic processor and artificial intelligence accelerators, which are used in high-performance computing. And one analyst in this article pointed out that in order for Chinese companies to develop an equivalent of services like ChatGPT, they will need to overcome the challenges of these restrictions. But the NVIDIA CEO, which is again quoted in the article, said at a recent news briefing that some of the modified chips are fully compliant with the US export rules. And the demand for NVIDIA's advanced AI chips in China has been still pretty good. And he even pointed out that companies like Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu, which are all Chinese large internet companies, as are an excellent partners for NVIDIA. So we'll see how that goes.
We will definitely have to keep watching who the winners and losers are as ChatGPT continues to grow, it seems. Are there any other tech-related stories from this week that you would like to recommend to our listeners, Akito?
Yes, so there is a very good and important story, I have to say, about how China is emerging as a top player in developing next-generation batteries. And the article's title is China Leads Global Battery Patent Race for Post-Lithium Ion Era. Nikkei team has done an excellent job by analyzing patents related to new battery technologies. It's a great news article, analytics, which is very important in predicting the near future of the tech industry. And you can only read this analysis on Nikkei Asia. It's an exclusive story, so please do check it out.
Thanks for coming on today, Akito.
Well, thank you very much.
That's all for this episode. You can read more of Akito's reporting, along with a host of other stories about Asia's tech industry, on Nikkei Asia's website, asia.nikkei.com. And if you like what you hear, why not subscribe to our weekly Tech Asia newsletter, which will be delivered to your inbox every Thursday. Check the show notes for a link to sign up. And check back in next time for more updates on the tech trends that matter.